My sister ran away with our parents' inheritance and now, 5 years later, she demands that I give all my savings so she can pay off her debts. For some reason, my sister always believed that everyone in the world should obey everything she said. She was spoiled, took things from others, and often got into trouble because she simply took money from our parents' wallets without telling anyone, and when confronted, she would simply argue that she deserved that money and it was unfair for them to complain, throwing a tantrum. As we grew up, this behavior didn't improve and she became even more spoiled. Our parents tried to control it, but it was simply impossible. That was her personality and she refused to change. It got to the point where our parents had to kick her out of the house, and even then she tried to come back several times against their will, with occasions where we returned from a trip and she had simply moved back home without us knowing, pretending everything was fine. Eventually we obtained a restraining order against her that prohibited her from setting foot in our house, and after that our lives improved significantly. We heard that she was arrested for theft, which was expected, but we no longer considered that our problem. We spent years without contact with her and that only changed about 5 years ago when she said she had changed and even managed to get herself a house. I was happy for her and so were my parents, so they went to visit her in her new home. Unfortunately, on the way there they had an accident and didn't survive. Obviously, this devastated me horribly. I was extremely attached to my parents. They meant everything to me and had always been my best friends. Because of this, I couldn't even get out of bed for weeks after it happened. Shortly after, my sister texted me saying she understood the situation I was going through and that she had asked to postpone the inheritance trial, and trusting her, I simply believed her. When I finally had the strength to get out of bed, I found out it was all a lie. The inheritance trial happened on the scheduled day and she fabricated evidence that I had given her all the inheritance in cash. When I tried to contact her, she answered and said she was sorry. She said I shouldn't complain because our parents probably would have wanted her to have the money anyway, as she deserved it more, and that I was still lucky because she let me keep the houses. I tried to tell her that I would pursue legal action against her for this, but she just laughed and said she was in another country now and would enjoy her life as a wealthy person, then hung up and blocked me. All of this was a blow to me. Besides losing my parents, I allowed all the money they had gathered in their lives to go to someone who didn't even truly love them. This haunted me for years, but nothing came close to being as bad as what happened this year. I was coming back from a date with my current girlfriend, and when I went to enter the house, I noticed that the TV and the lights were on. I thought I had forgotten to turn them off. But when I entered, I saw my sister sitting on my couch, smiling at me as if it were normal. I asked her why she was there and that she should leave my house now. Before I called the police, she just kept smiling and said there was no reason for that because I was her brother, so she had the right to do it. But when I picked up my phone to call the police, she changed her behavior instantly. She started crying, saying that her ex-boyfriend had taken all her money and now she owed a lot of people, including some bad ones. She said that as her brother, I should sell the properties I inherited and give all the money from the savings I've been keeping for years to help her. Because that's what our parents would have wanted. I told her she had no idea what our parents would have wanted and that I wouldn't give her a single cent. And furthermore, I would make sure she was arrested for what she did. When she saw she couldn't convince me, she fled. I already called the police and reported the case, and I have no doubt they will find her soon, as she really didn't seem to have any money even to leave the city. When they find her, I will make sure to sue her for impersonating me, for taking all our parents' money, and of course, for entering my house. I know she will be caught soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing her finally getting what she deserves. You can now check if there's a part 2 by pressing share and more.